Alright, I've been needing to update our machine sheave video, how to take the old one off, put a new one on. So today I've got an engine I fixed a crack case on, and just thought I'd take the opportunity. So a lot of this has already been done. I'm going to try to encompass the 660 and the 700 together. First thing different is on the 660, this bar is not removable like it is on this 700. And so if you were going to do any of this work, it's on 700, remove it. 660, you don't have a choice. First thing I do, and again this is already done, is I take out the little plastic rivets of this front piece. I'm sorry you can't see it in the video here. And then your cup holder console, once I get this out, I'll pull it out where I can get the screws off this cover right here. So for my purpose, I've already got some bolts out. Some people don't even take this out, but I'm going to. I've already got it out, and I got this out. Alright, also you would have on a 660, you do not have this set up exactly like the 700. Heck, it's been so long since I've looked at a 660, but nonetheless it's a little bit different inside. You'll have a fan here you don't have on a 660. So let's go ahead and get our cover off. Alright, I only had one screw holding mine in. You'll just take the rest of them off. Now if you're a 660 owner, there's a water line. I don't know if we can see down. Yeah, you can. There's a water line that comes right here, and there's a screw on it. I usually take that out, take the water line out, move it forward and underneath the tab, and then on a 660 we typically pull it off and then rotate it down and then out. 700, it's not nearly as hard. Alright, also, again, like I said, it's been a while for me personally on a 660. It does not have this little piece here. 700 was on there. Okay, so I'm just going to let it go. Only got one bolt. Now you can see this thing is dusty, bad, dirty. And this guy's got a snorkel on here, and which creates a lot of heat. And I personally think all this black is belt dust from his belt degrading. Alright, so you're going to take 4 screws out of your bearing support. We're going to wash this one up. You're going to have 2 long ones, 2 short ones. Your long ones will go in the bottom left and the top right, short, top left, bottom right. Okay, so we got them out, got our bearing support off. We're going to take our primary sheave off. I use an impact, 22 millimeter. Mine was actually already loose. Slide this nasty thing off. Sometimes the collar comes off, sometimes it don't. We can tell this is going to be nasty inside. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pull this collar off because I want to clean it. Now we're going to take the nut off our secondary. And this is one of the differences I was talking about. 700 has this fan, 660 does not. Okay. I'm going to take the nut off, fan, and spacer. For the 700 owners, now you don't have to take this off, by the way, for the machine sheave. The only time that I do any of this for the machine sheave is just so that I can take the screw that we send with you to have access to one of the holes to spread the secondary apart. But one of the separate videos here is going to be changing the spring on this, and which I'm going to do on his. And also I'm just going to go ahead and do a video on cleaning the secondary. So if you're a 700 owner, you'll just simply slide it off like so. If you're a 660 owner, then the problem you're going to run into is you're going to have to take that angled portion I talked about off. And now your coil's not going to be here on the 660, but anyway, it will come out. It'll just want to come out. Like I said, it's a little different. I can't really simulate exactly, but let's just say out to like this, and it don't want to come off the shaft. All right, I'm just moving that out of the way for purpose. The reason I moved it out of the way is because of that coil. But anyway, what you'll do is you'll slide this thing as far as you can get it off. Alright, and it won't be up on there, but just like a shade, like it'd be about right like this. And then what you do is you take a flat stubby screwdriver, reach in the back, go in the back hole and put it right on the end of the shaft. Now as you pry towards you, on a 660 the motor will push over a little bit and you'll be able to wedge it out between that bar here and this shaft. Alright, so our secondary's off, and what I'm going to do before we get into reassembly is I'm going to take his parts, clean them all up, and then we'll go back to the reassembly. Okay, now we're down to our, got our sheave off, the one we're going to replace. Got all these, you know, I've been saying 2, 4, 6, 8 screws in it. Now we're going to take them out. This is a 700, 660, it looked the same way as far as this part goes. Alright, now this thing's got an O-ring under it and it's kind of hard to get off. What I typically do is take a screwdriver on the side and pry it up. If somebody knows a better method than this, call me. Alright, here we go. Finally got it off. I'm coming off. Basically what I'm doing, once you got it, it's a little recess there, and you, a couple of rounds ought to get it. I hadn't been in this one before. Alright, well here's a perfect example. Now this one ain't really truly so awful bad, but I mean I've obviously seen worse. Let me just show you something. Now this is, let me get it here. See how this grease is smoothed out? But right here in the back end is dirt built up right back in here. And these roller weights will not roll out all the way when you get a built up of dirt in there. So let me see about getting it loose. Okay. Now I'm going to clean this cam plate up, see if he needs a new cam plate. It's hard to tell with all the grease. But with we're not going to reuse, we're going to reuse his cam plate. So I got to clean it up. It's going to be clean when we go back with greases anyway. So at this point, if you're replacing, you will not be using O-ring. If you want to use this video, I guess, for cleaning, you clean all this out, make it look like this one, and you know, hopefully not go back grease. But nonetheless, we're going to set that aside. Take the cam plate slides off. We're not going to reuse them. This is a 700, and we'll talk about the differences in cam plates after I get this cleaned up. Alright, I got this cam plate cleaned up. I tell you, I'd just about rather buying one and clean that grease off. Anyway, okay, so let's talk about the difference between a 660 and a 700 cam plate. And I'll have to come in kind of close. You'll see how that's just got a cutout with it with no bent over edges. And here the 700 has the bent over edges right there. That's basically the only difference between the cam plates. Alright, so that also means that the cam plate slides are different. Alright, here's a matching one. You can see the curves for 700. There's for the 660. Now this is off of a stock 660. You're going to have these little, oh, they call them inserts, cam plate slides inserts. They're U-shaped, and they're going to be inside your 660 like so. So you're going to reuse these out of yours and put them in our greaseless. If these are wore out, we have some. We don't have them on the website, but we're trying to stock some, sell to you. And also, if your cam plate's wore out, and usually you're going to find the wear here and inside here. So if those are wore out, we got a few of these as well. Alright, so this application is calling for 18-inch round. There is a there's a side, but it doesn't matter which way they go in. So you just simply drop them down in the new sheave, in the tracks. Alright, I've already done it on this one, but this is the brand new one. The only place the grease is going to go is in the hole. And I just take my finger and a little bit of wheel bearing grease and run it down in there, and you want to keep it off the outside. Alright, I'm going to take his 700 chem plate. And this is where I was talking about the wear while we're at it. This has got bright spots, but it's not worn into it. It's a smooth surface steel. Alright, your slides actually can go on one way, but I have people doing it the wrong way. Square side goes down, and you'll see that it's curved and has to go, but I've had people put them the other way. Now sometimes when you're putting the chem plates in brand new and dry, they're a little stiff. That's alright, as long as it isn't just like a total bind, you'll be okay. Alright, this one drop right down in there, and it's, like I said, it's a little stiff, but it'll wear in so quick, and I just don't normally have any problem. And another thing, you can't push it in and out with your finger straight. So I go ahead and knock it down. And this one's ready to install. If you got any fingerprints on it at all, or any grease, like I do right now, what I do here in the shop is I take a clean rag, spray some carb cleaner on it, and then turn it over, and on the belt surface, any grease or fingerprints, and then at this point I don't touch it again, and I go slide it straight on. But now you must, all during installation, I'm going to go ahead and get my fingerprints on it for now. During installation, because these weights, if you don't have this cam plate all the way down, they'll fall out. So the whole time you're carrying this up to the time you put it on, and like I said, keep your fingers off, have it where they won't come loose. See, I can shake it and they won't come loose, and we'll go right on the shaft, okay? Alright, we're supposed to go do the secondary spring and clean up on that. And then when we get all the parts back together, we'll go finish this video out for the reassembly.